Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the UCR Coaches Show in beautiful downtown Riverside in the historic district at Lake Alice. We are here at the first Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. We hope that you guys all come back and check out the show monthly. This month is a special month because we are going to profile the women's sports at UC Riverside in the spring sports. So we're happy to bring in the ladies tonight. We're going to talk about the National Women in Sport Day, which is actually today. They've been celebrating this all week long, and so today is a nice time to bring in the lady coaches and athletes of UC Riverside. We're going to have on the show tonight, we're going to have head coach of the softball team, Nikki Palmer, and pitching sensation Taylor Misfeld. The women's golf coach, Mary Ritchie, is going to talk about her upcoming season, and the women's head basketball coach, John Margaritis, and his star player, Lauren Holt. But right now, we are joined by our women's tennis stud, Chloe Pham. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Chloe comes to us from Northwood High School. And what year are you at UC Riverside?
I'm currently a fourth year.
So you're a senior, finishing up.
Yeah.
Now you guys have already played 5 matches so far this year. How are the Highlanders doing so far?
We're doing pretty well. I think that it just takes a few matches just to get in the hang of it. Like, I personally tore my ACL last year, so coming back this season means a lot to me, and I hope that the team and I can really get together and push it. We've only played 2 conference matches, so we have a lot more matches left, so I think we're going to do really well this season.
Well, so far you guys have played at San Diego State University. You've played Hope International, Long Beach State, Grand Canyon, and Fullerton. You guys had your first win this year versus Hope International. You guys did a pretty good job. Your team, your doubles team.
Yeah, we did. I played with my doubles partner, Natalie Penner, and Sarah Katab and Tia El Poussin played the other doubles match, and yeah, we did pretty well, 6-0 and 6-0 wins, so we were pretty happy about that.
Now, any new players that you guys have on the team that you have been working with?
Yeah, so we have 2 new freshmen this year, so Tia El Poussin and Tammy Van. They're great players with a lot of potential, so I think the team and our coach are very excited to work more with them this year.
Okay, well, you're up here today to promote something very special and dear to your heart. It is the Big West Coin Drive.
Yes.
Now, what exactly is this Big West Coin Drive?
So the Big West Coin Drive is pretty much a coin drive that the Big West Conference is holding, and every one of the schools in the conference is participating in it, and I think we're treating it more of like a contest of like who can raise the most money out of all the schools. And so for our school personally, the proceeds that we make will be going towards a non-profit organization called the Community Settlement Association, which is an organization which is a after-school program that helps underprivileged kids in Eastside Riverside. So me personally and some of my teammates on the tennis team, we actually help volunteer and help tutor the kids. So it's something that we hold very dear to our hearts. So we're trying our best this year to, raise as much money for these kids because they have a few things on their wish list, like sports equipment, like basketballs, mini TVs for the side classrooms for side presentations, and board games. So we're just doing as much as we can to help these kids out. So if you would like to donate to the Community Settlement Association, please contact anyone from the athletics department, and we can take checks or Venmo or obviously coins because it's the coin drive. So.
Okay, now you can get involved by going to GoHighlanders.com if you'd like to donate money, and it would be a great cause. And also go out and support the women's tennis team. Now, I know a couple things about you that I've read recently. You're a graduate of Northwood High School in Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard through the grapevine that you're a singer?
You did?
I did.
Where did you hear that from?
Oh, trust me, I have my sources.
Well, I mean, I did sing all 4 years at Northwood High School, and actually our high school, we're known for our arts program. We've won a few Grammy Awards for both our orchestra and our chorus, so I just wanted more than anything to participate in that. So that's probably one of the most memorable things I'll hold dear to me from Northwood High School, so yeah.
Now, were you able to travel the world because of this?
For singing?
Yes.
Well, our chorus did travel to the East Coast, like New York and stuff like that, but I personally didn't go because of tennis, but not worldwide, just within the States.
Okay, now how did you get involved in tennis? And obviously you had great grades. I read that as well. You're involved in course. You're a complete all-around player, but what got you involved in tennis?
It was actually my dad and my sister. So my dad, he was self-taught. He taught himself from high school to college, and then he started teaching my older sister tennis. And then I would just go out when I was little to watch her play. I'm like, I want to play her. I want to beat her. And so ever since then, like, my dad was trying to help me, and from there, just, you know,
So
happened.
obviously you were recruited to come to UC Riverside. What made you choose to come play for the Highlanders?
There's actually multiple reasons why I came here. UCR, of course, is a great university. They offer such great majors, and we are a research-based university. So me, I'm pre-med, so my goal is to get into medical school. They have a great medical program here. The faculty and staff is great. And the coach, Coach Henry, if you're watching, you're a great coach, and you're one of the main reasons why I came. You seem very understanding of just the student-athlete life, and so I just felt that UCR could provide me a well-rounded environment.
Okay, well, you've been here 4 years. Can you think of a moment or a time or an episode that you can think of and look back and say this is the best part of being a Highlander for UC Riverside?
I think that the best part, well, as a student-athlete, is just to play with your teammates. I mean, I remember my freshman year, we played Villanova, and it was a really close match. I think I want to say it was like 3-3, so you need like one more match to win. And we were just all like really nervous, and I remember one of my teammates, Sophie, she's graduated now, but I remember she won the match, and it was just like the best feeling in the world, just to like, you were just contributing to the team effort, and like we just carried through with the win. So that was probably one of the most memorable moments I had with my team.
Well, we are glad you're a Highlander. We're glad you put in 4 years. And everybody out there, please donate to the Big West Coin Drive. If you would like to get involved, go to gohighlanders.com and contact somebody in the sports information department and donate your money. Thank you very much, Chloe Pham. And we're looking forward to a great tennis season from you and the Lady Highlanders.
Thank you.
Well, we will be right back with women's head basketball coach, John Margaritis. We're going to talk some basketball. I know he's in a hurry because he's got to do some scouting tonight, but we're going to talk about the National Women in Sport Day, which is going on today, and we're celebrating it all week when we come right back here on the UC Riverside Coaches Show.
Hi, I'm Cheech Marin, and I want to tell you about this incredible voyage that we just started to bring art to the Inland Empire in the form of the Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, Culture, and Industry to the Inland Empire. And we're just starting out on this project, and we want you to join with us because we are going to make Riverside and the Riverside Art Museum the center of Chicano art in the world, and we're going to bring the world to Riverside. We hope we can count on you to join us because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm bringing the whole collection here to be housed here and for everybody to enjoy, and it will be an important destination worldwide for Chicano art. Join us.
And welcome back here to the UC Riverside Coaches Show. I'm Jeff Gorham. I'm here joined by head coach John Margaritis and his star player, Lauren Holt. Welcome to the program, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, we are right in the middle of the Big West Conference. And how are the Lady Highlanders doing? How are you doing?
We're doing okay.
Doing okay?
We're in the middle of a long race, and we keep running.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you guys have played a grueling schedule. Early in the season, you played some great teams.
Yes, and now we're playing other really good teams that are in the Big West Conference.
So did that prepare you going into the Big West Conference, playing these big-time programs?
You would think that it did, in that you had a little bit of time to reflect and see what you need to work on. And but every time I think sometimes, in a season when you think you have the answer, somebody changes the questions on you.
Yeah.
And then you have to readjust. So we've been through some weeks where we're not at full strength, and as we paddle along, I think that we just got to navigate through this thing. And right now, we were talking today, as a matter of fact, about this, is that obviously where we are, we're not going to win conference, but we can go into the tournament as a team that people have to worry about. I've been telling the team the story about my second year here, Seiram Buanos, or Seiram Bell now, her first year on our team, and how we were losing and struggling because we had some injuries back then also, but we won the last 6 games of the year before tournament. And then we got into the tournament, won the tournament, and went to the NCAA tournament. So we're still very much alive, and we feel that we just got to stay healthy and focus and see how we do as we approach the tournament.
Well, the record doesn't really signify that you guys have been really close in a lot of your last few games. I mean, you've won all 4 of your last 4 games. You've been in the first half. You've either had the lead or been very close.
Obviously, somebody screwed this thing up completely by putting 40 minutes.
If you could play for 20, you guys would be great right now.
And the warm-ups are pretty good, too.
Yeah. But you guys have suffered a few injuries this season.
Well, there's been some little potholes here and there, and that we just need to avoid.
Now, what are what are some of the positives, though? I mean, like you said, you have won halves of those games, but what are the positives you can take away from the defeats that you've had the last few?
Well, I feel that there are always positives and negatives. I think you learn from the negatives, you eliminate the negatives. I always felt that the best way to win is to eliminate the reasons why you won't. And one of the biggest positives is we have had a lot of experience, so to speak, throughout the season. We've faced all kinds of adversity meaning things within our team and things that came within the game, meaning height or speed, and we're very close to overcoming some of those. It's just a matter of putting it all together and just going down the stretch, knowing that it doesn't matter who the opponent is, we can compete, and not only compete but win.
Yeah, and competing is one thing, and learning to win is another. And I do think you guys are really close. I mean, you guys have won the rebounding battle on most of the teams you played. You've shot well at times. You haven't shot well at times. But you guys are right there. It seems very close to turning this thing in your favor.
We agree, and we feel that just a matter of time. Another thing that I was telling our group was that sometimes the timing of your goals versus achieving them is off.
Yeah.
So for example, if I want to do something in my career, let's say I've just started out and in 5 years I want to be there. Well, it may take 8 years, but because it didn't happen in 5, I'm disappointed. I'm not putting as much effort into it anymore. I've reached my limit mentally about what I would anticipate is going to happen. And then normally people just quit. Just if they could just turn the corner, they see the end of the tunnel, but they just give up just before that. I mean, you look throughout history. Even we went on a trip a long time ago to Belgium, and then from there we drove up to Amsterdam and went to Anne Frank's house.
Great place. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good
when
experience.
When you go through that little, what is it, bookcase, and you go upstairs. But, look how close she was.
Yeah.
And she gave up. She passed away just, a week or so before they got liberated.
Yep.
So it's interesting. You learn some life lessons through athletics, and we're no exception.
Well, you have a very good one sitting right here next to us. Lauren Holt. How you doing, Lauren?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Now, what has she meant to this program for you? I mean, she's a senior. She just scored 1,000 points last week. They're going to do a nice ceremony for her. But what has Lauren meant to this program and meant to you?
No, go ahead. Put me under the spotlight. No, the truth is that she is a wonderful, wonderful young lady. And very good basketball player, but people judge her or see her as a basketball player. They don't know her personally, and when you do get to know her, she's the face of our team. She's the representative that they were so proud of. She really handles her business well. She's just all around. Mom and Dad have done a great job.
Now, speaking of Mom and Dad,
we're just taking advantage of it.
Yeah, speaking of Mom and Dad played for UC Riverside?
They did. My dad was a member of the basketball team at UCR when he went to school here.
Okay, now did they play for the legendary John Macy then?
They did.
Okay.
Well, my dad did. My mom, just a student. She didn't play.
Now, are your parents from the area?
My parents are from Northern California, so the Bay Area.
So what brought you to UC Riverside? I know you had you started your college career at Portland State. Mm-hmm. What brought you down to UC Riverside? Was it coach, or was it just a culmination of everything?
It was kind of a culmination of everything, like the perfect storm, my family likes to call it. It was a nice home tie. I went to Oregon originally. After graduating high school, I went and played at Portland State. Decided that weather wasn't for me, so I wanted to come back home as soon as possible. I was looking at my different options. I was a little bit limited. I didn't get a lot of playing time at Portland State. I had reached out to Coach Margaritas, and he just gave me an opportunity. I saw some film on his team, how they ran their offense. I thought that I might be able to score points and have fun and get a good opportunity and obviously a great education at this program. So,
well, speaking of scoring points, you had a big career high versus UC Irvine on January 25th, which you eclipsed the 1,000 points.
I did. The crazy thing is that I didn't even know that was happening.
You had no clue?
I had no idea. Michael had tried to tell me before the game. He was like, "Oh, do you know what you're going to do this game?" And I was like, "Whatever it is, don't tell me. I don't want to know."
Well, you guys are going to be hosting the UC Santa Barbara this Thursday, and you guys are going to be wearing pink uniforms.
We are.
I heard that you did a photo shoot wearing a pink uniform.
We did. Michelle Curry and I did a cute little photo shoot in the pink uniforms. Look out for it.
Well, we're going to show that right now on the screen here. Those of you that are watching at home, Lauren Holt and Michelle Curry sporting their pink jerseys. It's the Play for K game, which is basically the same thing as the Jimmy V Classic. They're raising money for breast cancer. So UC Riverside will be wearing their pink uniforms as they host UC Santa Barbara this Thursday. But let's talk about the big night for you. They're going to have a ceremony prior to the game.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm just really thankful for my coach for honoring my points at my old school, number one, and obviously my teammates for helping me get buckets.
Now,
I think all the teams do that you scored against.
Right, exactly.
Now, speaking of, have you ever had a chance to play against any of your former teams?
I have not, actually, which is unfortunate because I feel like I just miss it every year.
Yeah.
But
now, you've been on a tear recently. You've scored 22 points or more in 4 of your 5 games. You have 16 straight games in double figures. Are you just kind of in – what's in your mind when you're playing the game? Are you just in that groove?
I think to me the biggest thing is that I just want to win games. Like, scoring points is great. If I could score 10 points and we'd win more games, I would be perfectly happy with that. It's about your contribution and what you can do to help your team win a game. So if I need to score more points, if I need to score less points, give more assists, whatever I can do personally to help our team win, that's the main focus for me and hopefully for everybody on our team.
Now, you've also had another 1,000-point scorer, Michelle Curry, this year as well.
Correct.
So that's a lot of points between these two young ladies.
Yes, there are.
And there's only a few that have done it in the Highlander uniform. Brittany Crane, Kimmy Nickel, Crystal Harris, Amy Hawkins. Well, that's a pretty good list of names to be a part of.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then if you go back and you look at and learn who those other people are, it's a very impressive group. And to be a part of that is really, something that it's a great achievement.
So, Lauren, what are some of your goals as we finish out this season for the rest of the year? And what are your goals going forward past basketball season?
I would say my goals for finishing out the season would be we were talking about, this is funny, we were just talking about this in the locker room the other day. Coach was saying we have to refocus and figure out what our goals are, what our strategy is, how we're going to achieve the goals that we set for ourselves from here to the end of season. And something our team had said was that we just want to be able to start playing better together. Like Coach had touched on it earlier in the show, talking about how we have a lot of pieces, some games, we kind of have to bring everything together all as one team and figure out how to win games, get momentum going into the Big West Conference tournament. So that's on the forefront of our minds for sure. And
you guys played a pretty tough preseason stretch. You guys were in some cold areas.
We were. We love the cold in the preseason.
In fact, we talked to Coach on the Inland Sports Show on the radio, and I think we interviewed you, and you said you were getting a suntan somewhere in the snow.
Yeah. It reflects off the snow, and you don't have to sit out there too long.
Coach, you got a good tan going on right
now.
Yeah.
I think, where were we? We were South Dakota, I think.
Yeah, you guys were all over. Every cold place in America.
We've been there. We've played there.
You know what's funny about that is the team keeps asking. Throughout the years they've done this. It's like, how come every time we go on the road it's cold? Because we live in California.
I'll tell you what, this has been the warmest winter I can recall. In fact, it was 85 degrees out here.
Every day is 80 in January. It makes no sense.
Yeah, you kind of say, do you like global warming? I kind of like the global warming. I like it that it's nice and sunny all the time. I hate to say it to the people that are in the cold, but I kind of enjoy it.
It's not too bad.
Now, one last thing before we kind of wrap this up. What have you learned most playing for Coach John Margaritis?
Ooh, I would say that I think that the thing that I've learned a lot from Coach Mark, actually. I think that some of the most important things I've learned, though, is some things that we've been teaching, or at least he's been teaching and preaching lately. I know he has a lot of things he likes to tell our team repeatedly, but something that's sticking in my mind is just to stay the course. Things are hard. Life is not always easy. Life is tough. Things come at you that you prepare, you work hard, and sometimes you're not getting the results you get. So it speaks to your character as a person and how you are as a player with what you do and how you choose to react from that. So.
And, Coach, I'm going to ask you the same question. What have you learned from coaching Lauren over the last couple of years?
She bounces off adversity and difficulty better than a lot of people that I've met throughout my life. She stays positive. So somehow she figures out what to take from a situation that's positive, and then she moves on. There's it's not all fun and games. It's not always, can't wait to smile, but somehow she figures it out. She figures out how to smile. She figures out how to overcome the adversity, and then she figures out how to continue to score 20-some points.
Hey, that always helps.
No, but it's an indication of consistency. Yeah. And an indication of overcoming adversity. Because I'm telling you, there's about 12 people on the other team that don't want her to. And they're all thrown at her, and somehow she figures it out. So it just a great, in terms of character, she's way up there. We're talking about comfort zone.
Yes.
And people have, small comfort zones. The guy talked to us one time about, around 70 degrees, it's all right. Between, 70 and 78, and then it starts getting hot. But other people's comfort zone is from 32 degrees to 99.
Yeah.
That's Lauren. She's got a huge comfort zone. She can survive in a lot of adversity and not only survive, but see it through. And that's very impressive.
Well, those are very kind words, Coach. Well, Coach, we're going to wish you the best of luck for the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Lauren, before we go, though, I have to say this. Somebody told me that are you related to J-Lo?
Am I related to
Yeah,
J-Lo?
somebody said, yeah.
Absolutely not.
You're not?
No.
Oh, okay. That was the rumor that somebody said that you were a big J-Lo fan, or that somehow you might be related to her. No?
Unfortunately not. I wish.
Do you
I'm
have
sad to say no.
Do you have good dance moves?
Not that good.
Not that good?
I guess.
Well, Coach Margaritis, we're going to wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Lauren,
Thank you for having me.
wishing you the best of luck.
Thank
You've
you.
been both great Highlanders.
Thank you so
we
much
love
for
you
having us.
and wish you the best. So thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Coach Margaritis and Lauren Holt, thank you very much. Well, when we come back, we will be joined by softball coach Nikki Palmer and pitcher Taylor Misfelt when we come back here on the UC Riverside Coaches Show.
Got junk too big for the trash can? Then call 311 to schedule a bulky item pickup. Riverside residents get 2 free pickups a year, but you gotta follow 3 simple rules. Bulky items must be curbside by 5:30 a.m. the day of your pickup, light enough for 2 people to lift, and the total volume can't be larger than 8 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. And it must be neatly arranged at the curbside for easy pickup. Don't just do this. If you got a lot of junk, check out our bulky item and e-waste drop-off events held several times each year. Bulky item pickup. Call us today and we'll haul it away. Riverside's about to get a little quieter thanks to the new Quiet Zone project. The plan is to reduce train horn noise by eliminating the need for locomotives to sound them. With less train noise, that means residents will have to be extra careful when walking or driving near train crossings, because although the lights will still flash and bells will sound, the train will not blow the horn unless the conductor sees a hazard near the tracks, like people, animals, or vehicles. Get info and safety tips at our website.
And welcome back to the UC Riverside Coaches Show. We are live and amplified here at Lake Alice Trading Company in beautiful, historic downtown Riverside. Well, we are in the National Women of Sport Day, which is actually today, and we're going to celebrate it all week. And what better to celebrate it here with the UC Riverside ladies programs, spring programs. So we're going to welcome to the show Nikki Palmer and Taylor Misfelt. How you doing tonight,
Great.
ladies?
Thanks for having us.
Well, Coach, you're getting ready to start the season. You're just days away.
We are. We're chomping at the bit for sure.
Are you excited? Now, this is your second season, your sophomore season,
There you go.
and you had a good first year last year, a winning record. What are your expectations going into this season?
Well, they're high, of course. We want to win a championship. That's what we want to do. So, this program hasn't finished above 4th place in the Big West, and so that's something we want to crack through, and we want to do it in a big way and get a championship before our seniors get out of here.
Well, speaking of seniors, you got a great one sitting right next to you, Taylor Misfelt. You have basically are all over the career records at UC Riverside. How does that feel?
It's good. I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I couldn't do it without my team. We've came so far since my freshman year. If I had more time, I'd be able to sit here and tell you about it. But looking at our team my freshman year and where we're at now is just insane. We're looking to win a championship now and go past that, looking into regionals and stuff. So.
Okay, you guys are just 2 days away. Where are you guys starting? I heard you guys are playing. It's UCLA tournament. Hosted by UCLA. It's the Stacy Winsberg Memorial Tournament, hosted by Cal State Fullerton and UCLA. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Coach?
Sure, yeah. We wanted to open up at UCLA, and they offered to allow us to play at Fullerton on the first day, which we jumped at the chance because we actually finished conference at Fullerton. So, we want to be dogpiling over there. You know, we want to finish strong, and so we want to get kind of a visualization of what that's going to look like, and what better way to do that than to kick off our season at that field. So Friday will be at Fullerton, and then Saturday and Sunday will be at UCLA.
Okay, well, you guys really, softball at the university level is really becoming a year-round sport for you guys. You guys played a lot of games in the fall. How did that fall season help you guys going in transition into the regular season?
I think it helps tremendously, especially for our newcomers. Allows them to kind of get their feet wet, and then maybe some people that didn't see as many innings last year, it definitely gives them an opportunity to get better in-game situations, gives our coaching staff a lot of really good notes to take into practices from the games. You know, a lot of good stuff kind of comes from that in the fall, and we get to see who kind of pulls ahead of the pack and things like that. So it's a great opportunity for us.
And speaking of some of those newcomers, would you want to address some of those newcomers and what they mean to the program?
Sure. Well, we have quite a few, so I'll kind of touch on some of the ones we're expecting to do some big things this year. You know, first and foremost, we have a transfer from Arizona State, Emma Ramalot, who's actually a King High graduate, coming home to Riverside for us, and she's going to do some big things for us this year. She hit 4 home runs in the fall in 8 games, and she's going to start at third base for us, and she's going to help us a lot. So we're excited about her. One of our freshmen, Haley Dolcini, who is a pitcher in the staff with Taylor. Taylor's kind of taken her under her wing quite a bit and mentoring her, and she's going to be a threat coming up the ranks. I think you'll see some good stuff out of her. And then just to mention one more, Sienna Garwell, who's a freshman from Banning, California. She'll be looking to get some time in the outfield and bring some more speed and a look to the left side of the plate. So,
now, being it's your second year, and Taylor's been in the program for quite a while, what are some of your impressions that you had coaching her last year and your first year?
Of Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, man, she's a handful. No, I'm just kidding. No, Taylor's awesome. She's a great leader. She is dynamite in the circle, and she's, you know, just has amazing presence in the circle and somebody that the defense really loves to play behind. So, you know, she's a selfless player and really wants a team to win, and sometimes does too much to put us in that position and maybe with your shoulder, but she kept us in some really, really big games last year with Fullerton. And, you know, like you kind of mentioned before, there's some records she's creeping up onto that we won't talk about until we get there. We're just going to worry about winning. But, you know, she's a big, huge part of our team for sure.
Well, speaking of those records, I have to mention, I'm going to just say this. She ranks basically, she's number 1, number 2 in virtually every pitching statistic since UCR went Division I in 2002. She's number 1 in wins. She got 37. She's number 1 in saves. She's number 2 in ERA. She's number 2 in the lowest opponent batting average. She's number 2 in shutouts. She has 6 of those. She has 242 strikeouts, which puts her third all-time. She's number 4 in games played and started. So you've been a really big part of this program since 2015.
I guess so, yeah. I didn't even know any of them.
Oh, you've got them all, and all time at UCR. And we're going back years and years. You're number 3 in wins, so you're approaching some big numbers there, because UC Riverside has had some great softball programs, and we're dating back to the Division II era. It's been a good program. Mm-hmm. Now, what are you looking forward to the most this season with your team?
We're winning a championship. You know, this year's different, and this particular group of girls that we have, it's just different. And I feel it in my gut, and this is the 1 year. I'm a senior now. I've been here for 4 years, and so this year, I just know it's going to be different. We're going to do really big things.
Now, you've added a new assistant coach. You had Megan Langenfeld, a legend, was a National Player of the Year. Now, what has she meant to you this year?
Oh, she's so awesome. I think anyone in our pitching staff or on our team has nothing but great things to say about her. I think that she has taken our pitching staff and taken it to a whole other level that we never even thought could happen. And, you know, I thought that we had a very built pitching staff last year, and she just took it and multiplied it by 10. So we're so lucky to have her, so grateful to have her, and glad that she's here.
Now, let's move forward to the Big West. What are some of the teams that you're looking forward to playing, and who are the top teams that you guys are going to face this year?
Well, looking forward to playing everybody. Looking forward to beating everybody. Definitely Fullerton is the, two-time reigning champs, so that's going to be a big game for us. But the sport of softball in the Big West is so incredibly competitive that, quite frankly, there's no games off. And so there's no easy games. There's no games that, Fullerton, I would say, last year was, pulled ahead towards the end of the conference, but there was so many ties all year long that there's nobody that is easy. There's nobody that is way better than anyone else. It's just it makes for an exciting competitive year, and every game is fun to watch because you never know when it's someone else's day. So we have to bring our A game every day. We talk all the time in practice about never take a ball off, because that ball or that missed backup or that missed throw or taken strike, whatever it is, could mean the game, because in the Big West it absolutely does. So we train every day at a really high level and a really meticulous level so that we can prepare for our conference, which is so incredibly competitive.
Now, the Inland Empire is a hotbed.
Yes.
You know that. The hotbed for high school softball.
Yes.
Now, recruiting-wise, you're coming into a new situation when you have the Santiagos, the Norcos. What is your recruiting plans to really kind of take over the Inland Empire?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, I played high school ball in the Inland Empire. I want to throw that out there. But just connections and getting with coaches and creating more visibility. We cannot be everywhere. I really, really try to get out as much as we can. But with camps and recruiting and things like that, we really try to get out into the community and make sure that we're there for those girls and get with these coaches, travel ball coaches, high school coaches. And I know I haven't gotten to all of them, but we're trying so hard to get to as many as we can to make sure we try to keep these athletes home, because unfortunately we are losing a lot of the best players to the SEC and the Big Ten and things like that. And so our Inland Empire athletes are going and playing in different states, and my goal is to keep those players home and win championships here.
Now, high school and college softball has changed so much in the last 15 years. What are your thoughts now about recruiting? Now, I'm a high school teacher. I'm around high school kids, and I see the recruiting process starting now as they're coming into high school.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I get asked this every interview. It has to stop. It has to stop, for one. In softball, it's gone too far. There was a press release the other day about a couple seventh graders committing, an 11-year-old committing to, I won't name names, but a Power 5 school, and it has to stop. And the softball head coaches, the NFCA, our governing body for the coaches, we have some stuff coming out that we've worked on and been working on for years that the NC2A is going to come out with very, very soon that will help table a lot of that and help just kind of put a stop to it. I definitely can't say that I've been exempt through the whole process, and we're trying to stay competitive and things like that, but it has to stop for sure.
Now, as far as your coaching style, since you're new to UC Riverside, you're like your sophomore year here, what is your coaching style? How do you approach your young ladies? Are you a yeller? Are you more positive? Let's
ask Taylor that question.
Let's ask Taylor that one.
I wouldn't say that Coach Palmer is the yeller on our coaching staff. Not to point out any names, but...
Hey, there's only 3 coaches, aren't there?
Yes.
So somebody might be a yeller out there.
No, Coach Palmer is definitely she's our third base coach, and so she's, making all of the executive decisions while we're hitting, and so she's very laid back, I feel like. Probably one of the most laid-back third base coaches that I've had, but I think that it benefits us a lot because it allows us, I'm not a hitter, but from an outside perspective, well, maybe I'm a hitter now, but from an outside perspective, I think that it allows the girls to just kind of relax a little bit, and it just kind of takes a little bit off their shoulders to let them do their thing. So
I think that hitting is so mental, and it's a failure. It's a position you put yourself in to fail. And you cannot own hitting. I tell the girls this all the time. You can't own hitting. Yeah. So no matter what you do, you can't say, I'm going to go 10 for 10. I'm going to get an A on this test. Well, you can't do that, because even the best hitters in the world in the history of the sport of softball and baseball have never done it. And so I've always really tried, and I know I'm not perfect. I definitely have my moments where I come unglued. But I really try to create kind of a calm presence at third base and if I can reflect positivity and confidence in my athletes, then that's great feedback to hear because that's my goal. The last thing they need is to take a really nice pitch for a strike when they should have hit it out of the park and look over and me look all disappointed and angry because that's only going to make things worse. You know, you're your own worst enemy anyways. So that is the goal. I'm not perfect at it, I will admit, but you know, I think that would be a great way to summarize my coaching style is I try to stay positive as often as possible and calm in most situations. I don't never yell. I definitely have my moments, but I think overall collectively positive reinforcement.
Okay. Now, Taylor, what brought you to UC Riverside, and what have you taken away the most from your time here?
What brought me to UC Riverside is I love California. I'm a California girl, always will be, I think. And I'm a big family person, too, so I wanted to be, you know, far enough away where I can – I'm from Northern California, so
okay.
I wanted to be far enough away to where I can kind of go home when I wanted. My family can come see me when they wanted. And my time at UCR, I think the best part about UC Riverside is just this athletics department is so family-oriented. I feel like I talk about this a lot when we do these kind of things, and I think that everyone knows each other and everyone's so close to each other, and our team in particularly are so close. We do everything together as a team. Our coaches we talk to like they're our family members, and it's just something really special that I think a lot of teams don't have. We don't leave anything out. Like if we're gonna, you know, do something as a team, if we're gonna talk about something, it's in our group text. It's, you know, talked about amongst everyone, and it's just so special. And I think that a lot of teams don't get to experience.
Well, Coach, it sounds like you're building a good family bond here with your team. You know, we're going to touch a little bit. You guys, you signed 6 new athletes that will be coming into UC Riverside next year. Do you want to give us a little preview of some of those?
Well, we have a lot of local Southern California girls in that group. 5 out of 6 are from Southern California. We have 1 out-of-state player, Nadia Witt, coming from Oregon. Tremendous athlete. I think she's going to be kind of a sleeper. She's just a powerhouse. Can play third base, can play outfield, can mash the holy heck out of the ball and run really fast. Have a couple players from Long Beach, Haley Kella, outfielder. Again, a lot of speed, a lot of pop at the plate. We have Karina Ibarra, who's a shortstop, and again from the same area. Incredible defensive skills. Kristen Smith, who's a catcher, excuse me, and she again has a tremendous amount of pop. She can also play third base. And then Megan Casper, I think that's 6, who's a really, really, really good pitcher, and I'm hoping she's good enough to replace this one. So,
well, Coach, we're going to add those to the family next year, and we're going to hope and wish you guys the best success this season with UC Riverside. Ladies, thank you for joining us on the show tonight, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's head coach Nikki Palmer and legendary pitcher Taylor Misfelt. Well, when we come back here on the Coaches Show on UC Riverside, we're going to be joined by the legendary Mary Ritchie, women's golf coach, and she's going to talk about her upcoming season and their success as we will be right back here on the UC Riverside Coaches Show.
Hi, I'm Cheech Marin, and I want to tell you about this incredible voyage that we just started to bring art to the Inland Empire in the form of the Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, Culture, and Industry to the Inland Empire. And we're just starting out this project, and we want you to join with us because we are going to make Riverside and the Riverside Art Museum the center of Chicano art in the world, and we're going to bring the world to Riverside. We hope we can count on you to join us because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm bringing the whole collection here to be housed here and for everybody to enjoy, and it will be an important destination worldwide for Chicano art. Join us.
And welcome back to the UC Riverside Coaches Show. We are live here at Lake Alice Trading Company, and we are here at the first Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. Today is a special day. We're going over the Women of Sport. Today is the Women of Sport Day, National Day, and we're going to celebrate it all week, and we're celebrating it here with the spring sports at UC Riverside. And we are joined right now by Mary Ritchie, the head coach of the women's golf team, and Haley White. How you doing?
Great to be with you. Thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
You guys are getting ready to start a big season. You got to be excited.
Yeah, we're super excited.
Yeah?
Can you hear?
I was going to say, you've had great success the last 2 years. 2 years ago, you guys were the Big West champions. Last year, so close.
Are we going to bring that up again?
We're just going to bring up that was it a putt? Was it down to one stroke?
There are a lot of shots over 3 days of golf and 5 players, so we can't pinpoint one shot, but yeah, it hurts, really hurts.
But you guys have had great success. You guys have been playing year-round. That's what I've been told. You guys had a fall season and a spring season. Maybe you can explain that to our viewers, because I was a little confused. I just think of one season, but you guys break it down into 2 seasons. How does that work out here at UC Riverside?
That's right. Well, golf works so that the championship season is in the spring portion. But the entire year, we start in September, we go until late October with a little pause, beginning of November till January. And half of our season is in the fall, half of it is in the spring before the conference championship, and then hopefully postseason after that. So this segment of the season is really the most weighted, but our results from the whole year are factored into our national rankings. So I think we're really ready to go, probably more so than we've ever been at this time in the year. And it's such a great way to start our season at our home golf course at Oak Quarry, where we play 2-3 times a week, and our event is going to be outstanding. We've got 14 teams coming from 8 different states. 4 of them are conference rival teams, and so we're gonna avenge our results from last year.
Exactly. Bring home the trophy.
Yeah. Well, you guys are, like you said, you guys are hosting the Battle at the Rock next Monday and Tuesday, February 12th and 13th. Everybody's more than welcome to come out and watch that event.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you all coming out.
That's a great place, one of the best courses in the area, kind of a hidden gem.
It really is. It's just outstandingly beautiful. There are teams who have reported that they take, 200, 300, 400 pictures, selfies and such during the practice round. So it's just beautiful.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit to the fall. What tournaments? I saw you guys played in Hawaii, or is that coming up? You guys are playing?
No, actually, that's coming up. That's coming up over spring break. But the one that was added to our schedule this year was in Vail, Colorado.
Oh, beautiful.
It was the first time that we've competed in the Golf Week Conference Challenge. It's a national event that has the strongest field we've played in, and it's really composed of teams that have won the conference championship in their conference. And so we played there that was our first event of the year. We had a good first day, struggled a little bit with the altitude after that. I think we talked about that last time, but I think we grew a lot through it, and we were invited back, so we'll have a chance to get it right.
Okay, we're going to fast forward to present time, and tell us a little bit about this year's team. Tell us about some of the players. I know we have Haley White here. You said Haley's having a great preseason. We're going to get to Haley in just a second. We're going to ask Haley a bunch of questions, but give us a little bit of insight about some of your other players.
I'm so proud of this team. We just found out that. Well, actually, I can't share that yet, so I'm not gonna share some very exciting news, but that'll be forthcoming here shortly. Anyway, the team is looking really good. We struggled with our putting kind of across the board, and I have said, and you guys have probably heard me say over and over, this is the best team yet. The best team we've ever had, and I really do mean that. And I'll tell you that this team is outstanding from tee to green, and where we've fallen down has been our putting. And so we sort of revisited some of our skills. We've worked really hard, right, Haley?
Yes, we've worked super hard, but it's definitely paying off and it's showing.
Yeah, so we're putting really, really well. We're getting up and down, and I think our scores are going to be so much different, so much better than they've been this year. So, who is looking good? We're pretty deep, actually, and we haven't had that in previous years. So we could have this cast of characters for our first event, and it could shift and change throughout the year, just, based on who's rolling it well.
Now, we hear a lot about, college volleyball, college basketball, and the recruiting process. What is the recruiting process like for a golf coach?
It's extremely time-consuming, and it's a science, really. I mean, for me, team chemistry is so important, so the golf skill obviously is an important thing, but the chemistry, I think, gets everybody on board with moving in the direction, towards our goals. And so for me, that requires watching a player compete 2-3 times. And if you can imagine playing 18 holes and watching one person zeroing in on one or two people, they might not be playing together.
Yeah.
So I really dedicated a lot of energy to recruiting this past season. And I'll be honest and I'll say that I didn't get a couple of players that I was really excited about for next year. However, I've got something up my sleeve, which I hope to make an announcement about for signing around that time. And we're going to graduate 3 fairly strong players on our team, and that's a heartbreak for me. And we have a couple of really strong ones coming in. So I think we're just going to keep getting better.
Now, let's talk about Haley White here.
Let's.
Tell us, you and I talked before the show, and you said that this young lady has really come on strong. Tell us about what her path to success here at UC Riverside.
That might be a question for Haley White. Do you want to talk about your game?
Okay,
Tell
yeah.
us about your strengths.
Okay, well, recently I've actually been hitting my shots a lot farther all across the board, from my drivers to my irons. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment, but I think it's helped a lot, especially on, the course we're having our first tournament at Oak Quarry. It definitely helps to have a little bit more distance off the tee. But I've also been working on my putting a lot, like kind of Coach mentioned earlier, and that has helped my score, I think, dramatically, and I think it's going to really show this upcoming season. So, yeah, my game's feeling good, and I hope to, improve throughout my next couple years here at UC Riverside. Now,
do you try to make adjustments every year? Like, say, you want to work on your mental game, your mental side of the game, your physical side of the game, maybe your putting. Is there something you try to get better at each off season?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you want to improve everything. That's kind of like the name of the game. All at once, you want to just get better at everything. But, I mean, definitely, hone in on some of the things that, your game needs work on. Like I said, I've really been focusing on my putting. I've been doing a lot of putting drills, but they've definitely paid off, and I know that it's going to really help me in the long run. So I'm just going to keep on working on everything, really.
Okay. Now, how has Coach Ritchie helped you and your game the last year or so?
I mean, Coach has helped me throughout, my whole game, honestly. She's helped me with mental game. She's helped me with, how I play the course, especially during practice rounds. Coming into UCR, I didn't really know how to play a successful practice round to get the most out of it. So Coach has definitely helped me with that. She's helped me with my game in general. Multiple aspects of my game she's helped me. Mostly putting. Yeah, but, short game, long game, she's helped a lot. And even our trainers here at UCR help a lot, with our physical aspect of it. So, yeah.
Now, is there a difference? I mean, I'll go out and play with my buddies and so forth, but is there a difference in a team game than playing the individual game? If you go out and play in a tournament for yourself as opposed to playing with a team, what's the big difference there?
Well, I mean, golf is primarily an individual sport, but when you played at a college level, that completely changes because, you're on a team. And like we mentioned earlier, we lost, our conference championship by 1 shot. And when you're out there playing, you're playing not just for yourself, you're playing for your team. You could have a birdie putt and you're like, okay, obviously I want to make this birdie putt for myself, but I need to make this putt for my teammates. I don't know what my teammate like Krista's doing on a different hole. I'm making this putt for Krista. It's just really college golf really brings in the team aspect, which is super awesome.
Now, is being on the golf team, you know, you come in as an individual, probably out of high school for the most part. What do you do as coaches and players to really build that team bond?
Well, I think the team bond definitely gets better over time. And also, too, you know, just hanging out with your teammates, saying, hey, do you want to go get dinner? You know, just, you know, making an effort to be with your teammates really helps make that bond greater.
So, like, when you're playing, like, board games with your teammates, do you want to try to beat them, though?
Of course.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, who doesn't want to win?
Exactly. Now, what brought you to UC Riverside, and you know, what was your path to get to here? I mean, where are you from? Tell us, give us a little background.
Well, I'm from Northern California, the Bay Area to be exact, and I really wanted to go to school down in Southern California. It's kind of always been my dream. The weather here is gorgeous. You know, we're near some cool locations like LA, Palm Springs. You're kind of in the middle of everything. And so I definitely wanted to go to a school where I could play golf year-round. The weather was nice. And then when I met Coach Mary, I definitely wanted to come to UCR because she's an amazing coach. She's done great things for our team, especially in the short time she's been here. And also, too, all the girls on our team are super awesome. And initially when I met them, I realized that they were such great gals. So I really wanted to come to UCR.
Now, what are your goals post-UCR? Do you want to continue playing golf, or what's your major? What are your future aspirations?
Okay. Well, my major is actually English, but I want to become a professional golfer when I graduate. So this is just kind of like on the road, and you know, I'm growing as I'm, you know, here at UCR and playing on the team.
Well, Coach, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the upcoming tournaments, the Big West. Who are some of the teams that you guys are going to have to face that are pretty good?
Well, that are in our tournament,
yes,
actually, when we go to Hawaii, we're going to have probably one of the stronger fields that we've had. You know, Texas is usually in that field, which is a top 10 team. Hawaii is just continuing to get better. Davis is playing in our tournament next week, and relative to the other conference teams, they're the strongest team. You know, a bunch of teams from Florida as well. I'm just really looking forward to building momentum to conference. And conference this year is at UCI, or UCI is hosting it, and it'll be at Strawberry Farms in Irvine. And so we're hoping that all of our supporters and fans come and watch us, hopefully bring home the trophy again this year. Yeah.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you what, if I could play women's golf, I would love to play for you. Every time I've seen you talk, you always inspire me. You inspire my co-host, Pep Fernandez. We talk about you all the time.
Oh, thanks.
You bring a great presence to ladies golf. You bring a great presence to UC Riverside. And when you bring in people like Haley, I know the program.
It's easy when I bring in people like Haley, don't you think?
I'm telling you.
I'm pretty grateful for my girls. They make me proud every day. So I think you can expect some good things from this team.
Well, we hope and we know that you're going to have continued success at UC Riverside. And I hope that everybody goes out this next week to the Battle at the Rock. It'll be Monday and Tuesday. And make sure you come out and support your lady golf team. This is Coach Mary Ritchie and Haley White. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Well, that will do it here from Lake Alice Trading Company here in downtown Riverside at the UC Riverside Coaches Show. I'm Jeff Gorham. We will see you the next month, the first Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you very much. Good night.